Steve Buscemi is an esteemed actor, best known for appearing in some of the most esteemed pieces of entertainment ever made, and the fact he looks rougher than a dog asshole 95% of the time. The latter of which being something we especially respect because relatable. Like we both feel that today, don't we? I think the most diplomatic way to put it is that Steve Buscemi has a very distinct look. And he himself was commenting on the fact, well, if I didn't look like this, I wouldn't have got on roles. Because if I just look like a normal guy, like, you know, for lack of a better term, no one would hire me because you can just hire one of 50 other actors who looks like that. But no one looks like Steve Buscemi. Or Steve Buscemi.
However you say his name.
Which we're about to find out because the actor is also notable for once sheepishly admitting to mispronouncing his own name for 5 decades straight.
So how are you supposed to pronounce his name?
His name is supposed to be pronounced Buscemi, but I'm going to use all the different pronunciations interchangeably throughout this video because it's a really fun word to say. Buscemi, Buscemi, Buscemi.
Buscemi.
Yeah, and for anyone curious about the origins of the correct pronunciation, that's because it's a Sicilian last name, something the actor himself learned when he went to Sicily and met 4 people with the exact same last name of himself and heard them all pronounce it Buscemi. And so that you don't have to Google it, folks at home, I've already done that for you. Steve Buscemi does have Sicilian ancestry on his grandfather's side. It's just that nobody else in his family was aware of the fact that the Sicilian pronunciation of Buscemi is Buscemi.
Yeah, it's the same with like David Bowie.
Yeah, which we've covered in another article before. The correct pronunciation is supposed to be Bowie, but Bowie pronounces it Bowie, and then Americans pronounce it Bowie sometimes as well. Yeah. And he got to the point where he's like, I don't really care because it's a stage name, but for Steve Buscemi, that's his actual real name. It's his family name, and he didn't know how to pronounce it. But as you mentioned, yeah, it's like some words are just difficult to pronounce because you don't ever hear them spoken out loud. And that's something we encounter a lot in these videos where I'll mispronounce words like from languages I don't speak and get shit for. It's like, I'm trying my best. I've never heard anybody say it out loud.
Yeah, it's like when you like say Japanese names and stuff like that. They're hard names to say, so you try your best.
My girlfriend does give me shit for that though, because she speaks Japanese. But the problem is that I get corrected on some words so much, I don't remember what the correct pronunciation is, because all I know is that I get yelled at for saying one of them.
So he's like, I'm just going to avoid that word.
Like sake, I don't know if it's pronounced sake or sake. And because all I know in my head is that one of them is wrong and I get glared at when I say it, but I don't know which one it is.
A name I always struggle with, celebrity-wise, is Shia. So I would say Shia LeBeouf.
Shia LeBeouf.
I can't say it.
Instead of Shia LeBeouf.
I'd never heard it said, so I just like pronounced it as I read it. Mm-hmm. And that's what my brain thought it was pronounced as, and then I was like, oh shit, no, I've been saying it wrong all these years.
Just Mr. Chia Seed LeBeouf. Thing is, it's his last name, that's the fun one, LeBeouf. It sounds like a really, really like just light starter on a French like 5-course meal.
Can I get the LeBeouf, please?
Yeah, can I please get the LeBeouf with the Buscemi on the side, please? It's so good.
Then for dessert, can I get a Bowie?
Then you have last names like mine when it's impossible to mispronounce them because it's just 2 words stuck together, Small and Wood.
Then you have my name, which is just impossible to say and spell, apparently.
Yeah, like how many like misspellings of your name do you get in like messages sent to your account with your name written on it?
So many, like, because it's N-I-S-H-A, I get the N-E-S-H-A, N-E-E-S-H-A, N-E-I-S-H-A, and...
I think my favourite misspelling of my name is when just someone put Karl Smallwood. And I just found that really funny. And I had that as like my handle online for like a good 3 years. I just found it so funny. Just someone put Karl Smallwood. I'm like, yeah, that's me. Karl Smallwood.
A few years ago, I had work experience with the BBC, and we travelled around the UK and we had like rooms booked in at hotels, and they had booked it in advance. So like my name was given at reception and I got like handed the key and stuff. I went to this one hotel and went to the reception and was like, oh yeah, Nisha Revill. And they gave me this envelope and it said Mr. Revill.
Mr. Revill?
I was like, that's the worst I've seen it.
That's a great, just Mr. Revill. And they look at you and go.
And then there was one where I went to, I always call it CEX, because it's weird calling it sex.
Yeah.
To like give in some like games, and they gave me a receipt and they asked for my name for some reason, I can't remember why, and it said Misha Radborn.
That's a name. That's a good name. The
most complicated spelling of Revel I've ever seen.
That's like those edits people do of celebrities' names. Have you seen those? Yeah. Like you've got like Daniel Radcliffe and it's like his face on a cliff with sunglasses. Daniel Boringcliffe. And the best one, Nisha, you know what I'm going to say. Which one is it?
Willem DaFoe. Willem Dafriend.
It's so good. Bringing it back to Steve Buscemi, his mispronunciation of his own name is kind of hilarious when you realise that when he first got his start in Hollywood, he met a bunch of people who were familiar with the pronunciation and pronounced it Buscemi. Like, he'd go to like casting calls and say, Steve Buscemi? And he'd write it off as them not knowing how to pronounce his last name because he assumed, it's quite an uncommon last name, I'm not going to correct them.
Yeah.
But because he didn't correct them, they assumed that he knew that was the pronunciation. When they heard him say his own name out loud, they were like...
That reminds me of when I was in college, one of my teachers said my name wrong and I didn't correct her. So I was called like Nisha for the whole year. I was like, I can't, when you get to a point where you're like, I can't correct her now.
It's like that moment in Friends, isn't it? There's that guy Chandler taught us to who thinks he's called like Fred or something.
Yes.
It'd be too awkward to correct him, and then later in the episode it's like, I heard that Chandler Bing passed me over for promotion, this is his office, and Chandler's like, well, and just starts destroying his own office because he doesn't give a fuck.
Bob! What the hell are you doing?
I just found out this is Chandler's office. Come on, Toby, give me a hand.
And there's a TV show I'm a fan of where this very concept is a recurring gag, and it is Keeping Up with Appearances. Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
And
Is that, I forgot her name.
Mrs. Bucket.
Bouquet. Bouquet!
So the people who aren't familiar with the show, it's a snobbish British woman who desperately tries to put herself forward as upper class. And she's married to a guy called Bucket, like Mr. Bucket. And she's like, no, it's Bouquet. And every time it happens, it's always fun because the actress who plays Mrs. Bucket like sells it so well. No, it's Bouquet.
Is that for me?
It says bucket on the envelope.
It's bouquet. B-U-C-K-E-T. Bouquet. The accent on the second syllable.
And it reminds me so much of my mum because she's like that. She's like a little bit snobbish in that way, where there's some words she pronounces so differently to a regular native accent. It's like, what do you call the thing you put your feet on in your house?
A beanbag or a stool or something like that.
Yeah, she calls it the poufet.
The poufet?
Yeah. Me and my brother all call it the puffy. It's like, no, it's the poufet, or like nougat. It's like nougat. It's like, there's a T in there, mum, pronounce the T. And then you've got my dad who's like, hey up, son. It's so northern.
Hey up, me duck. So, Steve Buscemi
Yes.
has pronounced his name wrong his entire life.
Yeah, it wasn't until he went to Sicily when he was like in his late 40s when he first heard like from a native speaker of the language where his name originated say it out loud, confirm for him for a fact this is how you pronounce it. And he's like, but it's been like 40, 50 years. I can't unlearn the pronunciation. So he just says, I still pronounce it wrong, even though I know that I'm pronouncing it wrong. And I don't even bother correcting people. And this prompted an interviewer to ask him, well, it's your name. You get to choose how it's pronounced. Why don't you correct people? And Steve Buscemi just went, well, they're not wrong. You can't really argue because they're not. But they also are. She reminds me a little bit of Stephen Colbert. Well, his name is supposed to be pronounced Colbert. And the story goes that he didn't like it. So he thought when he went to college, like, no fucker here knows me. I'm just going to tell everybody it's pronounced Colbert. And that's how his name's pronounced now. Because he just told people that it was. And they were like, oh, okay, I'd never heard that pronunciation before. But if that's how you go, that's how I'm going to like refer to you. And they got away with it. Nisha, are you familiar with that internet meme of like, oh, this is what a celebrity's name really stands for?
I might have seen a few.
Well, my favourite is Cardi B, which is like, did you know Cardi B stands for Cardigan Backyardigan?
Yes, that's what I have seen.
Cardigan Backyardigan. My other favourite one is a bit more inside, is Kat Von D.
Oh no, what's that one?
Kat Vaccinate DemKids, because she's anti-vax. It's just like Kat Vaccinate DemKids.
Oh, that's amazing. No, I've not seen that one.
I fucking love that.
Oh, but yeah, the Cardigan Backyardigans.
It'll never, ever be topped. Like, when we just look at like her real name is like something ridiculous. Like, I think the joke is I try to say Cardi B's real name out loud and I summon some demons. It says Bel Callis Marlenis Alamanzar.
Oh my god, it's just like, it's what you say in a mirror.
It's like a spell in fucking Dungeons and Dragons or something, isn't it? Because there's a couple it says people also search for here, and it says Megan the Stallion, Megan Pete. That's such.
Oh my god.
Just a boring sounding name for such an interesting lady. Did you ever see when like Megan Thee Stallion just dressed like Mileena from Mortal Kombat for a video?
No.
Because she don't give a fuck. So she doesn't care. We get on the picture, it's great. Yeah, she just dressed like fucking Mileena for a video. She's like dressed like the full fucking like ninja outfit. She's like, bollocks to you. I'm gonna sing
That's awesome.
about riding cock dressed like Mileena. There's nothing you could do about it.